Good morning. Today we're going to play with soothing the body, getting in touch with our body, particularly in ways that our body holds a lot of our processing, that our brain is like, I can't do all this up here. Body, can you hold it for me? And so we're going to play with stretching those areas open. So be gentle with yourself when or if things come up. That's to be expected. If things don't come up, enjoy the physical sensations of these practices, and just be kind with yourself. So we'll start with our pranayama exercise, our breathing practice. And today we're going to put our hand, often we put it on our belly. We're going to go a little bit higher, and we're going to go to the diaphragm here. So the muscle that actually creates this vacuum that our lungs create. So we're going to put our hand right there on the diaphragm. I kind of like to stick my thumb right up on the sternum too. And then the other hand on the heart, and we'll do that breath work where we expand through the belly first. And then let the chest rise. Exhale, let the chest recede. And then exhale, let the belly pull in. Expand through the belly. Keep it open, expand the chest. Chest comes back down, exhale, then belly, exhale. And what I want you to focus on is particularly that moment where you go from opening the chest. I want you to see if you can keep that belly expanded while the chest opens as well. So we're really asking a lot of that diaphragm there. Soften the neck muscles, the shoulder muscles. And come back to the natural breath. Let's take those arms in great big circles like windmills. We're going to go back one after the other. Allow your torso to twist if you'd like. We'll take both arms up. Imagine grabbing onto something and pull it down behind your head. Reach on up, grab that imaginary bar or something like that and pull it down behind your head. Feel your shoulder blades come down and towards your tailbone. One more time. Excellent. Take one arm over. And we'll be curious about this side stretch over here. And then the other side. come back to the center. Take the shoulders up as high as they'll go. Really, really squeeze. And then wiggle them down. Do that again. Hold it up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, wiggle it down. Take the bottom as low as your shoulders will go, and we're going to take them as far forward and as far back as we can take them without letting them rise much. Excellent. Once again, we'll take both arms up overhead. I want you to feel that lift, bringing your shoulders to your ears, which we almost never do, right? But I want you to feel the opposites. Feel that shoulders up towards your ears, then pull them down, then pull down that imaginary bar behind your head, and all the way back up. Shoulders down, elbows down. Feel that open chest. Last one. Shoulders down, elbows down. Excellent. We're going to go straight to standing up. So find your comfortable way to make your way up to standing. And we're gonna do Godzilla walk, okay? So talking about opening up and releasing and processing emotions. This one's particularly good for processing anger, frustration, disappointment. And we're gonna be a tantruming 2-year-old because yeah, they've got the right idea sometimes. So we're gonna go ahead and just stomp the floor. And then we're gonna go backwards and forwards, and we're gonna keep these knees open. We're just gonna push down. And because I'm on video, I'm not stomping as loudly as I usually would, but normally I get this really loud. So if you're in a place where you can't really just get it out, please do. And go ahead and come to a spot. We're gonna take it up into the arms and we're gonna punch down. Let yourself feel that ricochet of motion up to your shoulders. Try to keep your jaw loose though. All right, let that go. Take a deep breath. Take the hands, and we're gonna pull back one finger at a time, letting it kind of spring away. So I've got my palm away from me, one finger at a time, then palm towards me, and take it the other way. Excellent. We're gonna shift into focusing a little bit more on releasing anxiety. So instead of that like forcefulness, we're gonna be kind of bouncy and just kind of let that energy come out. So I'm just bouncing on the balls of my feet, letting my heels go up and down. And shake it out through the fingers. Let the knees be loose. Maybe even get a little hip wiggle in there. Now notice if you're holding your breath. And if you are, that's okay, but invite yourself to breathe. Then we're gonna settle down some of that anxious energy and we're gonna shift it back and forth. Make it a little bit more flowing. Maybe lengthen up through the top of the head. And start to find this long line pushing down through the foot. Feel that gentle stretch through the body. If your arms are loose, maybe they swirl back and forth. You can emphasize that if you like. Feel that little thud on your body. And let it slow. We're going to play with lengthening and engaging the erector spinae. So that's the long muscles on the sides of your spine. Go ahead and make your way up to the top of your yoga mat. Press down through those feet and lengthen the head up. You're going to pull those elbows out wide. Do that Superman, Superwoman pose that's been shown to help balance those stress hormones, increasing confidence. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel how solid it is. Inhale, arms up overhead. Deep breath in. Shoulders are going to stay down now, even though our hands are reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. So again, engaging the erector spinae. If your muscles aren't quite ready to be holding up all the weight of your upper body, please support yourself. If you'd like to encourage that open chest even more, pull the pinkies up towards the ceiling behind you. Deep breath in. Exhale all the way back down. My feet are about hip width apart. Find somewhere around that place and bend your knees until your belly's resting on your thighs. And we're going to rock forward and back on our feet. And then try to keep your belly glued to your thighs, but lift your hips back up into the air as high as you can without peeling your belly off. And back down. Rock back and forth. And lengthen, tail to the sky. Take your feet wider than your hips, maybe about as wide as your mat, and your toes can point out a little if you want to. We're gonna bend the knees, bring your hips as close to the floor as you can. You notice my knees popped maybe. Maybe yours do too. If your knees cannot stand this pose, keep it comfortable for you. You can even put a stool or a chair underneath of you and bring your legs up. But notice how they're longer. So this is an alternative, still getting the hip squeeze without that crunch of the knee. If you're down on the floor, we're gonna rock side to side. And lengthen the legs. Again, tail in the air. Keep your belly as close to the thighs as you can. Probably can get them closer with these legs further apart. And rock side to side here. soften the knees, make your way all the way back up to standing. We'll keep our legs apart though. Arms up overhead, shoulders staying low. Bring down those hands to fists at the hips. Inhale back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Adjust as needed for you. And take it back down. Bend your knees. Come all the way to sitting. Have a comfortable seat. We're gonna bring our hands across the chest. We're gonna tap left, right, left, right, left, right. This can be very, very soothing for feeling anxiety in the body or worry. And even if you don't know where it's coming from, this left-right stimulation helps the brain connect both sides, use both hemispheres to help solve the problem. Let that pause. And bring the hands over the heart. Put some pressure here. We'll take the arms up high overhead. Exhale forward into your own lap. Let the head be heavy and simply drape down towards the floor. And there's an option here if your head is near the floor or not. If not, then you can grab a bolster or pillow or something. If you'd like to rest your forehead on something, this space here, this third eye, is very calming to the body to have gentle pressure on, or to feel like it's completely rested and supported on something solid. Take one last deep breath here and simply let it out. Press your way back up to sitting. If your soles of your feet were together, you can leave them there. If the ankles were crossed, we'll switch and put the other knee in front. We're going to roll back these shoulders. Do a sitting cat and cow. So the cat is tuck the tail, tuck the chin, press the spine back, exhale, traditionally speaking. And then the cow is sticking out the tail, lifting up the head, presenting the chest, deep breath in. Take this back and forth. You can make this move even a little bit bigger if you like by extending it through the arms. And the next time that you're open and lifted, take the arms back up overhead. Exhale forward into your lap. We should be on the second side now. Again, you can support that forehead if you like. And as you do, see if you can soften the shoulders. Sometimes when we're asking the hips to release, the shoulders try to take on that burden and they get tight for our hips, and vice versa. So we're instead going to encourage both the hips and the shoulders to let go. And breathe out any amount of stickiness or tension that we're holding. Slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. And we're going to play with those fingers again, pulling one back at a time and letting it spring away. Move through the elbows and the shoulders and the neck. Make your way to hands and knees. When you get here, we'll play with scrape the barrel. So take your torso, roll it around. Great big circles. Circle it the other direction. And then we're going to play with the hips. We'll shift them forward and circle them out to the side and then down towards your heels. Out to the other side, back up to a kneeling plank. Circle it around. Other direction. And bring one shin forward. And lift up through the torso. Our goal is going to be to open up the front of the hip and lower abdomen. Again, engaging the erector spinae up the back. Opening the chest and take deep breaths here. All the way out, all the way in. And then go ahead and sit your tail down on the mat next to your heel and bend this knee back. Lean back, tuck your tail under and look for a stretch in the quadriceps. And return. We're going to come up on our feet. Stick the tail in the air. Press back, feeling your calf stretch back here. Let your front knee come towards your armpit or your rib cage. Step back to downward facing dog. Bring your second shin forward and put it down on the mat. Once again, we're going to stretch out the hip flexors, opening up through the torso. Deep breaths. If this stretch isn't quite enough for your hip flexors, you can bring your knee off the floor and that will increase it for you. and sit to the side of your heel. Bend your back knee. Lean back to feel that quadricep stretch. That's the front of your thighs. It's named quadriceps because there's 4 of them, which means that tiny little movements of the hip are going to target 1 or more of them. So as you shift through, you can feel slightly different stretch depending on what angle you're at. As always, feel free to be curious about your body, about the sensations. And return to where you were over your shin. Lengthen the legs, tail goes in the air. Press back, feel the stretch of your back calf. Feel that deep lunging in towards the front knee. And then step both legs back, downward facing dog. And come down to the knees. We're going to sit on our heels, unless that's not right for your knees, in which case add a little bit of support under your hips. You can sit on a bolster or blocks. We're going to move towards camel pose, which is challenging for the spine. It takes a lot of abdominal support, so we're going to move very slowly, very cautiously, and we're going to stop adding new elements if you feel that it's not right for you. So take a pause if and when you feel like you have reached your limit. We're going to start by engaging the lower abdomen. I want you to really feel that strength and support that comes from right down here. And then from there, lift your heart. Feel that expansion of the rib cage coming up and away. Go ahead and support yourself with your hands if you'd like to, and maybe this is where you are today. Maybe this is your camel pose. If you would like a little bit more, if this feels really, really easy, you can bring your hands to the mat behind you and increase the stretch, heart up. I still have my low belly engaged, supporting my spine. If you feel like your camel pose could get a little bit bigger today, let's come up on our knees. Now we get to engage from the belly and the thighs. We'll play with here, lifting the heart up and away. If you'd like some more, I'm going to bring my heels up and reach for them. Heart lift, belly still engaged, thighs still engaged. My knees are trying to reach down into the floor and a little bit towards each other. And if you'd like, maybe the feet go down and you do it from here. That feels like too much for me today, so I'm gonna stick with the heels up a little bit higher. Let it go, whatever camel pose you were in, and we'll take a child's pose, hips to heels. And let's do a traditional child's pose with our arms down towards the feet. Let your shoulders slump towards the floor. If you want more back stretch, bring your knees all the way together. If you want more breathing room, you can take your knees a little bit further apart. Feel that forehead area completely supported by the mat. Let your head be very, very heavy. Bring your hands under the shoulders. And press up to hands and knees. We're going to take the right arm underneath and rest on your shoulder. Feel the upper torso twisting. Push your hips into the stretch. Unwind. We'll take it to the other side. Unwind. Extend both arms out in front of you. The hips will stay over the knees. We'll do melting heart. Allow the whole torso to simply melt towards the floor. Last deep breath here. Prepare yourself to transition. Again, we'll find ourselves a comfortable way to sit. And I want to teach you guys something that you can do in public without really letting people know that you're trying to self-soothe. And that is tapping the sides of your fingers. So we can tap the side of that thumb, the side of our finger, and in this line of science, you actually skip the ring finger and go to the pinky. But you do a few taps on each one. And you can do this left, right. You can even do it one hand to the other, whatever works for you. I've used this with a lot of success in business meetings and whatnot where I was feeling nervous. And then there's this one, which is a little bit bigger, but we're going to take the meaty side under each pinky and bump those into each other. And we'll play with that same idea of compression, but we're going to make it a little bit bigger. We're going to do little arm hugs. This is another one that's great for feeling insecure. I can feel my neck muscles relaxing. And then we're going to take one arm to grab the rib cage, one arm to grab the shoulder, and we'll do a deep hug. If you are somewhere where people aren't going to notice, we can add a rock or a sway. I encourage you, if you're doing this one, to relieve anxiety or insecurities, to slow that sway down. Make it like rocking a sleeping baby, not when you're trying to get to stop fussing. We're gonna go for the keeping the baby asleep sway or rock. Go ahead and release. We'll do it just for a moment with the other side. Rib cage and shoulder. Might even be nice to have a little twist. And make your way to lying down on your back. Let your knees stay up and give them a little squeeze towards each other. And then slowly open them. Soles of the feet will come together as your knees go wide. Actively think of gently bringing your knees down. We're not looking for pain, but we're definitely looking for stretch. We'll bring our hands to the hip bones and encourage your low back towards the floor. And allow the back of your hands to come down to the floor so your palms are resting upwards at your sides. Now intentionally bring your soles of your feet closer together. Feel that squeeze. And bring your knees up an inch or two, but we're going to hold them right there. We're going to imagine, though, that we're squeezing against like an exercise ball. So feel that tension, feel that tightness. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And release. Notice anywhere in the body that collected tension or discomfort. I know I had a ping behind one shoulder blade and up in the neck. I'm going to intentionally kind of wiggle and squirm those areas into being soft again. And then again, we'll press the soles of the feet together, bring the knees up an inch or two, intentionally feel that squeeze like you're pushing against something between your knees. Low back presses into the ground, deep breaths. And release. If you felt tension collect anywhere, squirm it out. Breathe it out. Take both knees over to one side and find the spinal twist that's right for you. A lot of times we feel tension, anxiety, depression, even anger in the body due to not having our proper cycles. Our circadian rhythm is off. We didn't get enough sleep. We didn't get enough sunshine. These spinal twists help regulate our circadian rhythm so that you can be tired and ready for bed at night and vice versa. Great for waking you up first thing in the morning too. We'll take the other side. And then allow yourself the next minute or two to explore the body. Make any last shapes or movements that feel right to you. And then allow yourself to get settled into your Shavasana. Allow yourself to be very, very kind to yourself today. So if you know that you would be more comfortable with a bolster under your knees, but you normally don't worry about it, grab that bolster, grab the pillow or blanket. Allow yourself to really, really be cared for because you are worth the effort. Allow yourself to make all of those adjustments and then reassess. Is this soothing what I was after? Do I need a little bit more adjustment? And give yourself time to do that. Today we'll allow our hands to focus our energy for Shavasana. We're going to place our hands somewhere on our torso, or maybe even over the face. Allow yourself to notice where you feel that you could use the most support. And after you've experimented a little bit with where it is that you would like to support today, let your hands rest on that place. Let your arms become heavy. Let your hands become warm. Feel the body move with your breath under the palms of your hands. And imagine that that breath is fanning the flames that you possess in the palms of your hands, stoking the fire. Feel that heat and weight sinking deeply into the area of your body that needs a little bit more support today. Feel that warmth permeate and soften and nourish and spread. Spreading outward and throughout the body. The whole surface of the body warm to the touch, glowing brightly. Now return your awareness to the room that you're in. And allow yourself to move and stretch, reawaken the body, carrying that warmth and softness with you. Eventually making your way up to sitting. We'll bring our hands to heart space and our thoughts to a place of gratitude. You're invited to Om along with me on our exhale. We'll take a deep breath in. Thank you. Namaste.